All right, all right, all right. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's Coach Lois here. I'm just lighting up some incense. Got a little behind here. Happy Thursday. I'm super excited to be here with you guys today. I got a download yesterday while talking to a client. We had a conversation about the law of attraction. So I thought I would talk about that today. If you're just joining us for the first time inside of my community, my name is Coach Lois. I am a podcaster, 260 plus episodes in, and my podcast, Healthy and Wealthy and Wise, is here to inspire you, sometimes even to challenge you. I think today's topic may be a little challenging. Some of it may be kind of like even confusing for your brain, depending on how you look at it, depending on what you've studied. I want to talk about the flaw of attraction today, because all of my topics on my podcast, whether it's me by myself in a monologue format or if it's me and a guest, it's always meant to help inspire, educate, and equip you to improve your health, your wealth, whatever that means for you, your relationships, by trusting some kind of new wisdom that is inspired in spirit, inspired from within. And as I was talking to this client and we talked about the law of attraction, and basically it's also known as the boomerang theory or law, the principle of the universe. If you know what a boomerang is, you throw it out and it comes back to you, right? So many years ago, I think it was 2006, 2007, The Secret came out and there was this huge self-help movement around the law of attraction. And I think it's okay to embrace it. I think it's cool to think about it and say, yeah, what I put out comes back to me, like Think and Grow Rich, right? And affirmations, positive thinking, the self-help movement. Well, it's also been called SHAM, SHAM, called the self-help actualization movement, helping you to actualize these results. And there's like everything, there's a light and a shadow to everything that we experience, right? Oh, hey, Veronica. If you are tuning in live, feel free to comment below #live, city and state where you're tuning in from, or country as it were, because I know I'm here in sunny San Diego or cloudy, rainy San Diego as it is right now. And you can be anywhere in the world tuning in. So I just want to thank you, Veronica, for tuning in. So what do I mean by flaw of attraction? Well, think about it this way. If you have done a lot of the things like the self-help, the reading of the books, the Tony Robbins, maybe you've even heard me talk about magnetic mind in the past and doing your recodes. Maybe you've been meditating. Maybe you've been, believing this. You're sending out things to the universe that you want in life. You want better health. You want better finances. You want maybe a better job. Maybe you want to release your addictive behaviors. So you just pray and you say all these affirmations and then nothing happens. Well, this is what I have learned in my journey. And I remember even when The Secret came out, I was kind of like, something's not right. I mean, in my gut, but I still went with it. I went to all the seminars. I went to all of the Tony Robbins events, and there was a lot of a lot of positive thinking, which is cool. The intention is nice. However, there's real life. We are not just, minds and brains. We are bodies and we are spirits. Hey, Valerie, so good to see you. So if you don't take into consideration, along with this universal law, the boomerang law or the law of attraction, what you put out comes back to you. If you don't always also honor your body, which includes your emotions, which includes trauma, which includes wounds, if you can't feel those wounds, if you can't feel those emotions, and I am mostly talking about negative first, we'll talk about anger, fear, jealousy, shame, guilt, which by the way are also associated with different chakras. I'm not going to do a chakra training here today, but your body, holy cow, your body keeps the score of all of these wounds, whether it's childhood wounds, adult wounds, divorce, death, grief, loss, but also ancestral wounds. We all have a mother-father wound, whether we care to admit it or not, right? And if we don't allow ourselves to release, purge, and there's lots of different ways to purge, cry, going to the bathroom, sweating, somatic release. And of course, if you know combo medicine or if you're familiar with my journey with ayahuasca, there's also vomit purge. And it can be done many different ways. You can also go to energy healers. There's lots of different healing modalities and options to help you purge that and process that. But then there's also the integration. The integrity of the healing is often misplaced, especially with the law of attraction and the self help actualization movement. We are not just our brains, right? And there's also all of other competing interests in life, right? You have your work, you have sleep, hopefully, you have nutrition and nourishment. There's all these things that as a human, we get to take care of on a daily basis. And so healing takes time. And so if you find yourself stuck and you keep putting out things that are positive, but it doesn't seem to be coming back to you, you aren't quote unquote doing anything wrong. It's just about awareness. And here's what I've learned in my journey: you can't heal in your body and your spirit what you can't feel. I'm going to say that again. You can't heal what you don't feel or cannot feel. I'll use myself as an example. When I was a binge drinking workaholic, I had a couple people, my mom and my brother, die, and I didn't feel anything. I was numb. I had been numbing myself out to life for quite some time, still believing in the law of attraction, mind you, still saying my affirmations, my prayers, my fake it till you make it mentality, which is oftentimes put out there in the industry of self-help and in our society in general. So think about it. If you're pursuing the American dream, the house, the car, the whatever, but it continues to be elusive or it continues to be frustrating or it continues to be painful, it's because of the flaw of attraction. The universe keeps giving you the same stuff. Maybe you married multiple times, different people, but it was the same type of result. Maybe it ended in divorce, or maybe your second marriage isn't going so well, even though you have a different name, different person, different last name, maybe. Or maybe you have had careers, different situations where you didn't like the boss, or maybe you have your own business and you didn't like the clients. So you blamed the boss or the clients or the job or the partner and just thought, I'll just go get a new one, right? However, the flaw of attraction comes in here. You haven't done the inner work. You haven't healed the wound of the past or the present. Wherever you go, there you are. So if you're on what you think, you feel like it's like Groundhog Day, right? Everything just keeps happening, same shit, different day. It was a phrase that I grew up with. It won't change until you change. You've got to be the change you want to see in your world, because the universe is going to keep giving you things, people, places, events that are simply reflecting back to you in the mirror, which we don't always like to look in, right? And I'm not talking about your bathroom mirror, although sometimes maybe you don't like to look in that either. But it's all about the mirror is trying to show you something, trying to give you clues, trying to give you signs, like little wake-up calls. And again, until you heal and feel physically, I was so locked up, I couldn't feel anything physically. Until I could really feel it and honor it and fill myself with love and compassion. Oh, by the way, I didn't know how to feel that at first. I didn't know how to receive love and compassion from myself, because for so long I'd been programmed to look outside myself for my answers and my solace. or my validation. That's where my people pleasing trauma response really went off the charts because I was trying to fill the void in my heart, the hole, the wound, the mother wound specifically was the biggest one for me. And I never allowed myself to feel, then to heal, then to shift my external environment as a result. Positive thinking is fine. Affirmations are fine. The law of attraction is fine. However, we are really being called now more than ever. The world is changing. The age of Aquarius is upon us. There's a lot of shifts. Even if you don't study any of the things that I study, you feel it. Maybe you keep feels like you're hitting a brick wall, right? That definition of insanity. Hey, good to see you too. Thanks for tuning in. Unfortunately, I can't see your beautiful face or name. That sometimes happens when I'm streaming live on StreamYard. So think about that. I want you to really, really sit with that and ask yourself, if the definition of insanity is coming up, is this the flaw of attraction? Do I keep attracting people, places, things, and events that trigger me, that piss me off, that cause me to stay and feel stuck in a hamster wheel? Maybe even, unfortunately, the prison of the mind. That's why just focusing on the mind is not the answer, because it's so easy for that ego to come in and to try to protect you, try to keep you safe, to pick the fight or the argument. Again, coming from a trauma response, the ego is trying to protect those emotions and feelings and helping you not feel them. So you're going to get to work with the ego, the monkey mind, the devil on the shoulder, whatever you call it, and feel the subconscious is what's driving that. And underneath that are the wounds. The triggers are triggering the wounds. And we can be so stuck that we're not conscious of it. So that's why I teach classes on making the unconscious conscious. A few quick things that you can also use to help you get into the body is breath work. Breath work is amazing. I'm teaching a class on that today here at 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you've never done it before, it was one of the first tools that helped me get back into my body so that I could start to feel. Other than breath work, there is Kundalini yoga. I'm a big fan because it helps with the meridians and the chakras, the spiritual life force essence of who we are. And that's also the third component, the mental, the physical. Once you feel it, then what do you do with it? Right? Because it can be intense. It can be a scary path, but it's so worth it. It's so, so worth it. Then there's the spiritual, which I call that the integration, the love, the compassion, the connecting with your guides, your ascended masters, your God, Jesus, all whoever, whatever you believe in, source, creator, it's perfect. I'm non-denominational. I prefer to say divine or source, and that's just me. However, I believe there's many, many, many thoughts and philosophies and paths on this, and I am so non-judgmental. That was another wound I got to heal, was my religion wound and spirituality wound, because I was really stuck there. I pushed it down in a way because of judgment. And once I came out of the spiritual closet and started to trust again, trust in what I feel is my spiritual connection with a higher intelligence, a higher being, then I could start feeling bliss again. I could have a deepened faith in myself, my higher self, my super conscious self. And then as the trauma and the wounds were being healed, I could learn how to hold myself and not look outside myself for my answers as much. So I also teach those unconscious, becoming conscious classes, and I teach you how to hold yourself, how to love yourself, how to accept and forgive those things that happened. Maybe you didn't cause them, but it is also your journey to heal them. And if you don't heal them, I'm here to tell you that's where the flaw of attraction comes in. And again, the universe keeps sending you opportunities. If you see them as such, they're not problems, they're opportunities to heal and go within. This past week, my stepmother died. At first, I was in shock. I didn't cry probably the first 24 hours, give or take. But my first clue was that night I didn't sleep very well. And I usually sleep really pretty well, really good. I knew my body was processing trauma. I knew my body was trying to purge through tears. And once the shock was released, because I've done so much of that, I could start crying a lot. So that's the beauty of ourselves in our humanity is we are supposed to cry. It's not a suck it up buttercup victory. It's not a push and white knuckling it through life victory. I'm sorry. I'm here to tell you. That's why the flaw of attraction doesn't work, because a lot of people will white knuckle it. Keep doing the things they think are right to attract in the things that are meant to be your divine birthright, which is amazing health, amazing wealth, amazing relationships. However, until you go inward, tap into the body and embody these emotions, the negative as well as the positive. You can't actually, science, quantum has proven that you can't feel the positive, the joy, the bliss, the happiness, the love, the compassion without first feeling the negative. So that's the anger, the jealousy, the frustration, the shame, the guilt, because we are human. There's a light side of us and a dark side of us. And what I want to bring forth is that healed masculine and healed feminine wounds so that you can have that sacred union, that combination, that yin and yang, whatever you want to call it, because we have all of that inside of us, the dark, the light, the feminine, and the masculine. And a lot of times we don't know how to heal that, where to begin, and then how to purge it, how to release it, because that's our gift as humans, is to feel suffering, even though it maybe doesn't feel good at the time. I also had a lot of suffering this past week. A lot of stuff came up for me to look at around my stepmother and my mother wound and my father wound. Even addictive behaviors came up. And once I could see it, look at it, inspect it with my heart, my body, my mind, and my spirit, asking for divine guidance and help along the way, it's released. Another tip is, are you creating enough spaciousness in your life to be able to feel? Are you just going, 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 going? Next meeting, next thing, next event, next distraction, next numbing behavior, scrolling on social media, food, alcohol, sex, porn. I've actually talked to a lot of people about that lately. And I just want you to know I'm a safe space. I have learned so much through this healing journey, talked to so many people, that if you would like a free consultation or check out my Healthy and Wealthy and Wise subscription, my goal is to have 1,000 subscribers inside that by the end of the year, to help you heal, to help you feel, and to help you get to the real benefits of the law of attraction, as opposed to keep manifesting this false flaw of attraction. Because you yourself are not broken. You don't need to be fixed. It's just you got to have the tools to bust through these traumas, these wounds, these fears, these negative things. Keep pushing them down, numbing them out, and that flaw of attraction is going to win every time. That victim mentality is going to win. The ego is going to win every time. If you saw value in today's show, and I'm going to just quick summarize some closing thoughts, please hit the share button with your community. there's a lot of people waking up to this and starting to feel more of these wounds bubbling up to the surface, and it's happening for us as a planet. It's happening for us. And if we don't develop that emotional intelligence and have tools in our tool belt to work through it, we're going to lean heavily on our addictions. And even worse, we might die. We might get a dis-ease that takes us out. Or we'll be grounded. We'll be grounded by something. It could be another pandemic. It could be whatever is in your personal life is your biggest fear could become realized, because what you resist, what I resist persists. So in summary, what tools in your tool belt do you have to help you connect mentally, physically, and spiritually? Not just focusing on reprogramming the subconscious mind. It's such a fad. It's such a trend. I'm not going to go on my soapbox about that. You got to get in the body, whether it's with breath work, Kundalini yoga, or regular yoga, meditation, developing that quiet mind to the best of your ability takes practice. And then, of course, bringing forth those wounds in a loving, safe, positive, protected environment and allowing them to be seen, heard, and then blessed and released. Can't do that alone. And that's why I'm here to help. If you have questions, please email me, lois@loiscoffey.com. I do offer short, free 20-minute consults and also paid sessions. If you just want to start the path, eliminate the flaw of attraction, because it won't go away on its own. I'm here to tell you that. I had to do a lot of deep dive healing work, which I now thankfully can provide to people, because I had to clean out my limiting beliefs, my cobwebs, my wounds, fill myself with love and compassion before I could really be good for anybody else, including my husband, including my family, including my clients. I also have free resources as well as paid resources at loiscoffey.com/resources if you want to check those out. Don't try to do this journey alone. Transferring from the flaw of attraction to the true boomerang law of attraction, the divine birthright that you are so rightly deserving of, takes some work. And it's a brave and courageous journey, but I invite you to explore that, to go deeper, to heal the wounds of the past, to heal generations forward and back as you do so, by the way. Finding that meditation practice, finding that yoga practice, finding the breath work, doing your best with nutrition. And then, of course, finding tools to lovingly unearth those unconscious things that are holding you back and attracting the flaw of attraction, and then transmuting it into love, light, compassion, and higher vibrational energies. That's the true law of attraction. You can only attract what level you are vibrating at in order to really have that amazing health, amazing wealth. Finding your purpose, your passion, and being a light in the world, I think is all of our desires. And that's my wish for you. So again, if you saw value, please hit the share button. Look forward to connecting with you on the next episode of Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. Until next time, guys, here's to your best health, your best wealth, your best wisdom. If you're catching this live and you're not already in my subscription, if you go to the resources page, look for Healthy and Wealthy and Wise subscription, sign up, and you'll get to be in my breathwork class at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is just about 30 minutes from now. All right. Sending you guys so much love. Have an amazing, again, spring equinox week is still on. Lots of spring vortex energy happening right now. And look forward to talking to you soon.